Hello and welcome to Your Simplified Coin Review. So today we're going to be looking at my top 10 coins and tokens that I believe are set to moon over the next bull run. And what I mean by set to moon is basically they just have the most potential for growth. And when we're in a bull run, it's kind of, almost everything can win. So these are just 10 that I believe, as I mentioned, in my personal opinion, this is not financial advice, have the most potential and are ready to take off. So, before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Right now, we're running a contest. We're giving away the equivalent of $100 in Ethereum. Going to be giving away on May 21st. So every video between May 12th and May 20th that you like and make a comment on, you'll be entered. You'll get one entry for the contest. So don't forget, you have to be a subscriber. So subscribe to the channel. And after this one, we'll be doing another giveaway. So these are going to be in no particular order. I'm going to give them a number. I'm going to say number 1, number 2, but we're not going to count them down or anything like that. So number 1, I have NEO. Now, why do I think NEO has so much potential? Well, NEO is called the Ethereum of China, and for good reason. It's a coin, but it has a platform that is able to launch tokens similarly to Ethereum, and we see what that has done for Ethereum. They've got so many good projects, and every time one of those projects does well, then of course that looks good on Ethereum because it's on their platform. I think NEO is undervalued right now for where it's at. It's about $67 or almost $68 right now. I believe it could go a lot higher than that. I don't know where the cap is. I would like to see it by the end of this year somewhere around $300 to $400 per coin. So it could go higher. Some people are predicting as high as $1,000. So don't go throw all your money in it and bank on the 1,000. I think 300 to 400 is probably more realistic for NEO. And NEO just has a really strong team behind it, led by Da Hongfei, who is also involved in our number 2 project, which is Ontology. So Ontology is a token launched on the NEO platform. So what they're called is Ethereum tokens are called ERC20s. NEO tokens are called NEP5 tokens. So we're going to be looking at 2 of these NEP5 tokens. I believe that this platform is set to blast. There are so many on the Ethereum network, and I believe that NEO is about to have its time in the sun. So Ontology. So what does Ontology want to do? Well, Ontology wants to make blockchain adoption easier for the mainstream business, if you will. So it's been called the jelly to NEO's peanut butter. So they work together. They're not the same thing, but they work together to create a smart economy where, almost any business will be able to access the use of a blockchain. So it's a really cool. You can check out our video we did on it. But right now, Ontology is coming in at number 27 on CoinMarketCap. It's around $8. I think that, as I mentioned, NEO is going to do very well. I think that Ontology is also going to do very well just because it has the association. There's a lot of excitement about it. It's already climbed up the charts. It just debuted on CoinMarketCap, as you can see on the chart, March 12th, and it's already grown so much. And the growth has been pretty consistent. Of course, we've had the dip here the last week, but I think that it is really geared to take off. So next, we're going to look at another NEP5 token, number 3 on my list, Deep Brain Chain. This is a sleeper, so it's ranked 117. It's not in the top 100. It's coming in around 9.5 cents, and as you can see, at one time, it was all the way up to 64 cents, and right now it's only at 9.5 cents. So you can see where it was before the crash. You can see the potential that it has. It's been a lot of sideways action, a little excitement. I'm really looking for the volume to pick up on this token. It is a NEP5, but the reason why I've picked this token is not because just it's a NEP5 token and I like those. It's because what Deep Brain Chain is trying to do is link artificial intelligence with the blockchain. So an honorable mention on this list would be Signals token, aka Spective. The symbol is SIG. I don't have it pulled up because it's not officially on my list, but the reason why I mention that is because I like coins and tokens that are trying to be the first to do something. So Signals token is like wanting to be the first to put together virtual reality with the blockchain, and Deep Brain Chain wants to do the same thing with artificial intelligence. So it's going to be really cool to see what Deep Brain Chain is able to do with AI. And I think that it has a lot of potential because, as you can see, some of these picks are because I like the project, but also because I love the charts. So I'm not a technical analyst, right? But you can look at this chart and see where it was and see this long history of sideways action. And now it's starting to climb a little bit. And you can almost feel where this coin is going, or this token is going, excuse me. So I think it's got there's a lot of hype on this token as well. The volume doesn't reflect that. But when the volume finally matches the hype, I think that we'll see this one explode. So now let's jump into a totally different type of coin, Cardano. I just did a review on Cardano. I think it's really good. It's got strong backing. It's got a strong team behind it. Has a great set of advisors. And one reason why I think that this one has a lot of potential, if you go back and look at the chart, you'll see before the crash, it was all the way up to $1.28. Right now, it is around 29 cents. So we know it's got the potential to jump. So Cardano is a great project. It got really strong backing. It's got good public support. It's got a great wallet. It uses the Ouroboros algorithm, so it's proof of stake. So there's a lot of things to like about it. It's just hard for me to believe that it's sitting at 28.5 cents right now. I believe that Cardano has a real shot to go between $2 to $5 on this next bull run. So I know in a lot of videos, I want to just clear this up. You know, I've said I don't talk about price. I don't talk about price when I'm doing a review on something because I want you guys to just literally understand the information on the coin or token. So, but for this video, I am talking about price and I'm just giving my predictions. As I mentioned, not financial advice. This is just what I think could happen. And it's just hard for me to see Cardano not hitting $2, which would almost be 10x in a very short period of time once the true bull run starts. So VeChain is currently ranked number 15, so it is pretty high up on the charts already. So VeChain is not only a token that I believe offers a lot of value because the token itself, VeChain, what it is supposed to do is it's like a tracker for luxury goods, so you can validate it and figure out if your Gucci bag is real or not. If you're into that kind of thing, I'll just get one from Walmart, not a Gucci bag. But the cool thing about VeChain is behind it, it has the VeChain Thor blockchain. And that blockchain, as of recently, and is another one kind of like Ontology that's trying to make the hurdle to getting your business on the blockchain or your supply chain on the blockchain, whatever it may be. They're trying to lower that hurdle to make it easier for adoption and mainstream, which I love all that, of course. But it's revolutionary because it's breaking barriers that have been harder to cross and questions that have been hard to answer. It's breaking those down. So for instance, for a long time, they couldn't figure out like, okay, on a blockchain, who's supposed to pay the transaction fee? Like with PayPal, you know who's supposed to pay. With eBay, you know who's supposed to pay. But with a blockchain, that you're just paying a transaction fee, who's supposed to pay it? So they came up with this huge chart that basically, it's not huge, it's like about 8 or 10 steps, I think. But it explains exactly how to choose the sender or the receiver who's supposed to pay the transaction fee. But the research on the VeChain Thor blockchain, it just really shows how fabulous this team is. Who says fabulous for a team? It's a great team, and it's really strong. So I think that this has potential to go way up. The cost right now is only $4.84. There's 873 million. So it's not like there's billions of these tokens floating around. So because the total supply is within reason, it's under $1 billion, and the token is only $4.84. I think it has great potential to jump up, possibly in the $30 to $40 range over the next bull run. As you can see, at one point, it was all the way up to almost $10, and it is returning relatively in the ballpark of previous all-time highs, which shows the potential for it to go way further than it is right now. Coming in at number 6 is one of my personal favorites, which is 0x. And the reason why do I believe 0x is set to moon is very simple. I've said it on a lot of my videos. I believe it is going on Coinbase. And when it gets on Coinbase, a 5x pump within 1 week, maybe even 24 hours, I believe is very possible. But as you can see, it's almost returned to all-time highs. The Satoshi levels are actually at all-time highs right now. Through this last dip, it's remained very strong. It has not had nearly the same dip that a lot of the other coins and tokens have had. But that shows right there that when 0x gets ready to take off, it's going through the moon. I believe out of all of the coins and tokens on this list, I believe that 0x probably has the most potential. You got to get inside the mind of a novice investor, someone on the fringe, what do they want? They want a cheap coin. What's cheap on Coinbase? Absolutely nothing. So all of a sudden you get a $2 coin and it goes 5x, it goes 10x. Let's say it goes all the way up to $20. It's still way cheaper than everything else. So until a competitor rises up and is able to offer other coins, 0x could be the cheapest one on there. And if that happens, then this thing is going through the roof. So aside from Coinbase, 0x is a great token, and I believe the 0x protocol is going to be, groundbreaking and is going to be great for 0x. There's already a lot of tokens being launched on the 0x protocol, such as Augur, Maker. There's a lot that are on there right now. So I believe that it's so good. The problem is if it doesn't go on Coinbase, there's going to be such disappointment that it is going to drop huge. I believe. I think it will return, and obviously it will get back on the upward swing at some point, but the initial shock of that is going to cause it to dump. It may dump 30 to 40% in a day. So this is the most risk versus reward token on here. I'll be honest with you guys, this is my very biggest bag. I love 0x. I believe it's going on Coinbase, and because of that, I've packed it hard. But I do understand it's risky. If for some reason it doesn't, if let's say it's basic attention token, which I don't have as much of a position in, if it goes on Coinbase, at that point I'm just going to have to pull myself up by the bootstrings and hope that I can hold it long enough to get back on the upward swing. So 0x, I believe, is the biggest risk, the biggest reward on this list with the most potential if it goes on Coinbase. So next on the list at number 7 is Wanchain. It's part of the Interoperability Alliance with Aeon and also with Icon. Icon banned me from their subreddit for posting one of my videos in there. So, come on, guys. Let me back in. Let me in. I got good content. But anyway, so Wanchain is basically what interoperability means. It's trying to get blockchains to communicate with each other, because right now we just have no way to do that. And as we scale blockchain up, it's just going to become more and more integral. They just came out with something called the WNS, which is the Wanchain name service. Apparently, Icon has the same thing, where your public key would be like a web address almost. It wouldn't be a web address, but it would be like a URL. It would be, like bitboy.wallet.wanchain or something like that. So that's much easier to remember than the crazy public key. And a public key is only important, I guess, if you're really concerned about your privacy with your transactions. So Wanchain is just kind of revolutionizing the game. And there's some other projects such as Arc that's trying to do something similar. But in my opinion, Wanchain is one of the top ones. I believe it could be in the top 10 at some point, and I think it is set to moon. So with Wanchain, we don't really have a crash to compare it to because it's only been on CoinMarketCap since the end of March. But you can see the progress it's made since then, and I think it's getting ready for a climb. I think its potential is huge. There's only 210 million. It's $7.30 right now. This thing could, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I believe that Wanchain could go high as $100. It's trying to do so much. It's a great project, so be on the lookout for that one. So Odyssey Coin. Odyssey Coin it's had a really bad day today, so don't judge it by its chart. But at number 8, I do have Odyssey Coin. There was a huge dump of it today. I got in on Odyssey Coin when it was 120 Satoshis, and that wasn't that long ago. So it's already right now up to 336. It was high as, I believe, 457 maybe at the peak. Let's see. 487 at the peak, which was just earlier today. So this coin has shown it can go places. Odyssey Coin is eventually going to be part of Tron's blockchain. So Tron right now is at ERC20, but eventually it's going to have its own blockchain, and it's not going to be on the Ethereum network anymore. At that point, Odyssey Coin is going to come with it. I know I make fun of Tron a lot, but I do believe Odyssey Coin is doing something big. Odyssey Coin is basically wanting to be like a sharing community. And if you don't know what a sharing community is, I didn't know either until I looked it up, but it's pretty simple. So think of Airbnb or think of Uber. These are companies that don't own anything. Like Uber doesn't own any cars. They have people that drive their own cars that work with them. It's a sharing economy. It's just normal people. That's why taxi drivers are so, bent out of shape about Uber. And so are hotels about Airbnb because it gives people another option, and we don't have to go to those mainstream large companies, and we can kind of just share as a community. So that's what Odyssey is kind of trying to do, is make a sharing community on the blockchain. So the next two we're going to look at are both going to be similar to Ontology or VeChain. They're going to be helping with adoption and use case. So TenPay, and I really like TenPay I'm going to be honest with you, mostly for the chart. So TenPay has a strong team behind it. I do like its team. It is basically a debit card that you can use for your cryptocurrency. And so let's look at the chart. So the chart, as you can see, it had a crash, but this is not your average crash because this was back in August. This was before January. So this crash right here is predictable, right? I mean, that's the same crash we saw. Interestingly enough, it really kept its Satoshi level pretty stable at that point. But the US dollar value fluctuated greatly. It rose and then it crashed. Now, that one's easy. We know why. Bitcoin crashed, so it crashed with it. The one in August was due to some regulations in Europe that basically caused the team to almost have to shut down the project completely. So it's shown the potential to get up there twice, okay? So since it's done that, you have to think that that team is resilient and they're not going to give up and that they're going to push it for a third time and see if they can get over the hump. I guess we're calling this the hump right here. But I do believe TenPay has a lot of potential to go way up as a European project. But I think what we're going to see with TenPay and also with the next one we're going to be looking at is that if these things are able to succeed and help with the adoption and almost become the go-to way of payment to be able to spend your cryptocurrency, then it's going to moon. It's going to moon big time. So I think it's kind of setting up for that. Things are lining up so that is going to be becoming easier in the near future. By the end of this year, especially, I believe we'll see lots of ways to use your cryptocurrencies with projects like TenX behind it. So it's really focused on Europe. The next one we're going to look at is Pundi X. We love Pundi X here. Now, as you look at the chart, you'll see that their circulating supply is unknown. The reason for this is because of a swap that they've had to do when they switched from PXS to NPXS. We did a review on Pundi X. You can check that out on our Coin Review playlist. I love Pundi X, honestly. I'm going to reveal to you my position in it. I had $4 left over from buying a certain coin on my Bancor Network account, and I bought Pundi X with $4, and it's worth like $9 now. So, of course, the other one that I bought is down like 50%. So, I wish I really would have bought in a lot harder position. But, of course, unless you guys want to start tipping me or giving me some love on Patreon or some other way, I need more money. I need more fiat. You know, I got to have more fiat. I've only have so many positions I can hold. And then at some point it becomes taking, lessening some positions to put it in other ones. I've got projects I believe in. So I do believe Pundi X is a great project. I wish I had more money to be able to put a big bag of it together because as you can see, this chart is off the chain. It has gone up tremendously and I think it's going to continue. As I mentioned, TenPay is focusing on Europe, whereas Pundi X is really focusing on Asia, specifically Southeast Asia. It is out of Indonesia. And of course, they have plans to put machines all across the world, but that's their main focus, Jakarta. They want to make it where no one in Jakarta has to go more than 5 miles to be able to spend cryptocurrency. They've got like these little mobile machines. They have these ATM type machines. I love this project. I love what it's doing. It's up 43% today, guys. So obviously, I would wait for a little dip. By the time you watch this video, maybe it's already happened. But I love Pundi X. I think this thing has got so much potential. It was just at like 0.8 cents the other day. It's already almost at a penny and a half. I believe this project could pretty easily be a dime, maybe as high as a quarter by the end of the year. I mean, I think that people are really getting behind this project. A lot of people are really into it, really believe what they're doing. And I think that this one could be set to moon. So that's it. You've had my top 10. You may have had a couple honorable mentions in there. Those are my top 10 cryptocurrencies that I believe are set to moon during the next bull run. So you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if I left one out. There's several other ones that I could have mentioned. Basic Attention Token, as I've told you guys, is my favorite one. I left it off due to the fact I think 0x is going on Coinbase as opposed to Basic Attention Token. There are a ton of other projects. IOTA, I also believe, is a really good project. Then you've got, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum that are going to continue to do well. So who really knows how far each of these are going to go? It's all just my personal opinion, not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research. Don't take what I said here and go buy bags of all 10s of these. Please just take what I've said here, go do your own research, and figure out if you think you want to invest in one of these. Don't do it because I said so. You know, just like LeVar Burton on Reading Rainbow said, you know, don't take my word for it. So I hope you guys learned something today, that maybe I gave you something to think about, or a coin or a token maybe you hadn't known about before. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and drop a comment below to enter our contest. Maybe you want to drop a comment and tell me which one you think I missed, or which one I'm totally off base with. So thanks for watching. That was your Simplified Coin Review.